So one of the other questions that we have that came through was from Sean Reed, and he asks, how do you deal with people that are too impatient to allow their dreams to develop into reality?
Well, hello, Sean. Sean is one of the most positive, hardworking partners that we have. When we first started, Sean overwhelmed me with his notes. He had everything figured out, and it was all great material, but a lot of it was too early. Sean had a little bit of that impatience in the beginning. You know, where do we go? And he and I sat and we talked about things, and he's really stepped back and interact incredibly with our project managers and our designers, but really understands the fact that if you want to build something well, you have to do it the right way.
What do you think that this process has changed the most about you?
Learning how to be patient with this product. Let me tell you something. I'm a Jersey boy, and Jersey boys don't have patience. And I am probably the worst person for patience. And it's funny because when I started with IdeaPros about a year ago, I had zero patience, none. I was constantly getting yelled at by Fred. And when we get later into this, I'll explain what I mean by all that. And, you know, everybody kept thanking Fred for your Friday topic A's that you put on the website. Well, they should have been thanking me because it was funny. Fred would always yell or scream at me either Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I know Friday what the website topic A was going to be already, because he took from yelling at me, he put that on not to do that several times. And it's funny because I said that to Jessica and Fred quite a few times. I said, I already know what you're going to put on for Friday. You're just, because you're yelling at me, now you're going to say, do not do this, because Bill did that. But he never said Bill, but I knew exactly what he was talking about.
He was helping you though, and by yelling, I mean, you know, it's kind of it's a love language in Jersey too. I mean, it's a little bit more passionate conversations that you guys have anyway.
Hey, Fred's a good old goat, man. And I've said that to him many a times. He's a great guy. Without Fred and Jessica and, you know, another guy that I speak to quite a bit, and I call him Grasshopper. You always see that on your topic.
Yes.
Like Sean Reed. I always call him the teacher's pet, man. I mean, great guy. He is. I reached out to him when I was probably about 2 months into the process with IdeaPros, because again, I wasn't patient. I wanted to see things happen, because 2 years previous to joining with IdeaPros, I did a lot of work, a lot. I mean, Fred, again, it was one of your topics.
Yes.
I did my own researches. I've been with 2 previous companies before coming to IdeaPros.
Wow. And
again, I've been countless hours on the website, looking at things, asking people and seeing what the market would, how my share would be in the market, let's say. Countless hours. And when I wasn't getting that fast reaction from IdeaPros, because again, I thought I knew everything. You know, I did this 2 years ago before I even talked to IdeaPros, so I knew that there was a market for it. I knew that I would get a great feedback, positive feedback on the high-rise sports chair. And when it wasn't happening that quick, because again, I didn't know the process, because that's why I left the 2 previous companies, because they weren't letting me be part of the process. They weren't teaching me the process. And when I came to IdeaPros, I thought I knew everything, and I knew some things, but I didn't know everything. And Fred and Jessica, just outstanding people. And I think Fred is more relaxed now that I did get everything, because he doesn't have to yell at me anymore. Well, I can't say that. He still yells, but again, he's a good bird, man. I like Fred. But getting back to Sean Reed, which I met back in August, him and his wife, Kelly, what a beautiful lady. How she got mixed up with Sean, I don't know, but that's okay. She's a beautiful woman, beautiful. And Sean, again, I just picked up the phone and called him. I said, hey, pal, I noticed you've been on, you know, I'll call it Topic A, these shows. And I said, look, my name's Bill. I have this product. I says, tell me a little bit about this IdeaPros. And he did. He said he's been with you all for quite a bit. And he was the one that really said, listen, Bill, trust the process, slow down. And so I give him a lot of credit to Grasshopper, man. He really helped me out quite a bit. And again, it just wasn't working that fast, move, that I was getting real mad sometimes. But again, they were trying to teach me, and I wasn't listening because, again.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Facebook Live. I'm Mike Corradini, CEO of IdeaPros, and today we have a very, very special guest with us, Sean Reed, who is here from small town USA, as he likes to go by. The series today is called The Spirit of an Entrepreneur. And the goal of today is really, as one of our top fans, we want to get inside Sean's head. And we want to understand the mindset of an entrepreneur in hopes that we can help other people out there that are either looking to get into entrepreneurship or who are already on their way in their journey to really look at everything under the best possible light. Because we all know this journey is not an easy journey. In fact, it's filled with alligators and pitfalls and quicksand and every other which way that can possibly detract you from your goal. And Sean has been an absolute epitome when it comes to being an example for the type of person that IdeaPros wants to partner with. And so, Sean, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Mike.
We have quite a few questions for you today, and I'm really excited to hear exactly what makes you tick, and of course, how we can help other people in the process. And so just to jump right in, Sean, to learn more about your secrets, if you will, for entrepreneurial success, the first question really relates around when you get started on this journey. And at first, it is understandably very hard and very difficult to get out of your comfort zone and to do something that's entirely new. And it's so easy to let fear and doubt completely overwhelm you. And so I'm sure you can relate to this, Sean. How do you personally combat that?
Preparing yourself and staying positive is very important. And I spend a lot of time preparing myself. When you do that, you can stay away from the fear. And it's pretty simple. Just keep your mind busy, think positive, prepare yourself, and you'll be okay.
And I would say, Sean, that the opposite's probably also true. If you don't feel prepared, if you don't actually put in the time to set yourself up for success, then you can be very scared and very overwhelmed because you can feel like you don't really know what you're supposed to do and you haven't properly set yourself up. And so, we're hardwired to be scarce. We're not hardwired for abundance. And so it is very normal for people to have those feelings of doubt. But like Sean says, the more you're prepared, the less doubt that you're going to have.
When I was around 20 years old, I started up an ice cream shop to start with. I started an ice cream shop, and I realized going into winter, we needed something to, we had to do more than just ice cream to make it through the winter. Then I ended up, turning it into a 50 style diner, sold, tenderloins and different things. As I was learning different parts of it, marketing and different things, one of the things I was doing was kind of interesting. I put a grill out front of the shop next door to Walmart, and across the street was a high school. So I had a lot of traffic flow. I put pork steaks out there on the grill. The smell went across the parking lot, and then that drawed people towards my business. And then, they'd grab a pork steak, and I'd said, inside we got drinks. And guess what? We had some dessert and ice cream and people in the store that way, and I kind of learned, how to get people to my store. Eventually, as people kind of learned where I was at, made everything fresh and they were just excellent. So people got to know that. We had some factories around town there. They would order these tenderloins. They'd order, X amount. We'd fill up a taxi. I mean, they'd put them in the trunk. We'd put them in the back seat. We'd put them in the front seat.
Well, you said it right there, pivot. One of the things I took away from that story most is that you pivoted from ice cream to a diner. And, that initial business idea that you had wasn't what your business ended up becoming, which is what we preach here at IdeaPros all day long, is you have to be willing to pivot. You have to be willing to make changes in order to find the right product market fit. As far as those tenderloins, and you're making me hungry, but that sounds like a play out of In-N-Out's playbook with their grilled onions. You can't drive within 200 yards of an In-N-Out without instantly having that siren, that smell hit you. And so it sounds like your diner employed many of the same things. What's really exciting about your app that's going to be coming out very, very shortly is how much more scalable technology allows a business to be versus one location in one town that, like you said, the climate changed when I believe it was Walmart was going to make a move, and that was going to change the flow and the traffic, the foot traffic, and affect your local business. And so I love to see that and what you've become now in this new digital age, and putting together your incredible app, which really is going to change the game when it comes to locality and opening up those boundaries for you. And so I love that you were an existing entrepreneur, Sean. Not that that's a prerequisite at all to be an entrepreneur, because you're never too old to start. But just knowing that you had that initial experience says a lot about you. And I'm sure there's things that carried into your new app, such as the examples that you gave. So thank you for sharing that. That's a great story.